Hi. Something interesting just happened. Spirit just gave me some random information. Well, maybe not so random because maybe not all that random because it's something like it's a subject and it's something that I've been thinking about and I've been wondering about and having a lot of questions and trying to gain understanding and something, just a little bit of information just came through from Spirit. I shared this video on my YouTube channel here. This is my previous video that I shared here on my YouTube channel titled Pakistani Reality Show. This is like a reality TV show. It's a Pakistani reality TV show. It's a ghost hunting show. I've watched quite a few of these shows in the West as well, like ghost hunting shows in the West as well. Just something I've been kind of into, or just something that's been, that I've been interested in. Just I don't know why. I just have been. I don't know. I guess I have a curious nature, especially when it comes to paranormal things and happenings, especially when it comes to the paranormal and the metaphysical. Things that we as human beings don't really understand. So of course there's curiosity, because we want to understand, we want to gain insight and understanding on these things that we don't understand. So it's kind of like, human curiosity comes in, and I guess some people kind of get scared of these things, but I am one of those people who are actually curious about these things, and who is actually curious when it comes to the paranormal. And I'm always like trying to gain insight and trying to gain understanding about these paranormal things that humans don't really understand, and don't really have much insight into, and don't really have much understanding of, or any understanding of. And so I shared this video on my channel here titled Pakistani Reality Show: A Pakistani Muslim Magician Possessed by a Hindu female jinn named Kumari. And I've been watching this Pakistani reality TV show, or ghost hunting show, or do I want to call it jinn hunting show? I don't know, but I've been watching this show off and on for years. I think the host Sajjad Salim probably have been doing this reality TV show for maybe 13 to 15 years. I'm not sure of the exact number of years, but it's somewhere I don't know, from 13 years to 15 years that he's been doing this show. And so I've been kind of, watching his show off and on for years. And then I stopped again for a few years, the last few years. And then recently, just kind of randomly, I was like looking for things to watch on YouTube. And I was like, what am I supposed to watch on YouTube now? Because, like, I had kind of run out of things to watch on YouTube because I'm not interested in the, I don't know, in the normal kind of things that most humans are interested in. So I don't watch most things on YouTube. I'm very specific with what I watch on YouTube. I don't watch any TV anymore, really. Well, maybe sometimes, maybe some of it. It depends if it's good enough for my taste. But otherwise, it's just YouTube now. And even with YouTube, it's like it's come down to, oh my God, there's nothing left for me to watch even on YouTube. Like, what can I watch on YouTube anymore even? And so I was kind of looking for things to watch that, I would be interested in. And then, I don't know, did this kind of randomly come up on my YouTube feed? Yeah, something like that. Anyway, so I started watching this show again in the last week or so, or last week to 10 days. I need a sip of water here. My throat is feeling funny. Okay, so I started watching this show again recently, and I ended up watching this episode on, a Pakistani Muslim magician possessed by a Hindu female jinn named Kumari. And after watching it, it's like I had so many questions because, whenever you watch something like this, and I don't know, maybe it's not just me, I'm sure other people have questions too. But certainly when it comes to someone like me, I certainly, end up with having all sorts of questions and thinking like, how is this happening? And how is that happening? And how is this possible? And how is that possible? And that's what I've been doing. And trying to gain insight and trying to gain some understanding and trying to figure it out. So yeah, questions like, or things like, and I'm even having trouble putting this into words right now, but it's like, I'll just give you one example, because questions like, how is it that this thing can move from point A to point B like that? And it's like, how is that possible? I mean, like, you're right there, you're filming it, like they are right there, these guys, Sajjad Salim and his team, and they're right there, they're filming it, and then, they hear her voice coming from, let's say, point A, and then just like that, they hear her voice or her laughter, because she was laughing a lot, coming from the other end, just like that. And it's like, and they themselves are like, how is this possible? I just heard her here. How did she get all the way over there, just like that? And yeah, it's things like that you kind of end up wondering about and questioning, and how is this possible, and how is this happening? And so tonight I was just sitting down having some dinner, and yeah, I was just eating, and it was and I was watching another episode, not this one, but it was an episode connected to this one on Sajjad Salim's other YouTube channel, which I happened to come across in the last few days, kind of randomly. Again, maybe it wasn't so random because it showed up on my YouTube as well. It's like Spirit just puts things on my YouTube channel. So it's that sort of thing for me to watch. So I was watching another episode, and it was connected to this episode on Kumari, the female Hindu jinn named Kumari. And they were going on about the same thing, like we have all these questions, and they were trying to answer some of the questions, and that's why I was watching that video as well. And I've been watching a few videos on this because he's made a few videos on this because obviously, he's trying to explain a few things, and there's questions that have come from the audience, etc., that he's been trying to answer as well. And though still the information that Spirit just gave me that's not there. He's not giving that information because he can't, because Spirit has given me this information. So I was just sitting, having my dinner, just eating, having my dinner, and watching another episode from him on the same subject. And I just heard the word, or you can say the word teleport came to my mind, or you could say that I heard it telepathically, because Spirit communicates with humans telepathically. Actually, I think the other episode that I was just watching while I was having my dinner is and yeah, I think in that episode they were asking this question, like, how come, she can move so quickly, like from point A to point B, and it's like how is that sort of thing happening? And I was just eating my dinner, and I just heard the word teleport, or like telepathically, or the word teleport came to my mind. So that's teleportation. Now I'm like, oh, okay. Now, that was Spirit giving me the answer, basically, to the question that they were asking in the TV show, or wondering about, and trying to answer, but they could not really answer because, well, maybe I was to answer that question. I don't know. But because I've been, thinking about it and wondering and asking Spirit, so Spirit just kind of gave me, some information on it for my understanding. But obviously, this is not a subject that I'm familiar with. I mean, I've heard of teleportation, of course, but have I researched into it? Have I looked into it? Do I understand what it is? Not at this point. So there was that. And then I finished my dinner. I was downstairs. I finished my dinner. I went upstairs and I don't know, I was doing something on my laptop, and then all of a sudden, just like that, the word hyperdimensional came to my mind, or I heard telepathically, like however you want to say it. These things are very hard to explain in language and words. Like, it's very hard to explain these things in human language and words, because these are psychic abilities, or well, actually, yeah. Speaking of psychic abilities, I suppose there's obviously telepathy. Spirit communicates with, or can communicate with, humans telepathically. And then there's obviously the psychic sense, or one of the psychic senses, or one of the clair senses. I think it's that's in French, like clair senses. That's like a French term or phrase, but it just means psychic senses. Or, well, clair, the word clair in French means clear, and senses just means senses, like human senses, or in this particular context, it's ESP, meaning extra sensory perception, or like beyond the five senses, like beyond the five senses that humans have. So that that is what's called ESP, or extrasensory perception, or that some humans have extra senses, beyond the five senses that humans have. So yeah, so the other word that came to me was, whether you want to call it that it came to me telepathically, or that it was given to me telepathically, or it came to my mind. Either way, it's the same thing. Or or you can call it the psychic ability, or the clair sense, or the psychic ability of clairaudience, because clairaudience means, clair means clear, audience means hearing. So clairaudience means, and that's a French word, it means clear hearing. So, and telepathy, I feel like it comes under the psychic ability of clairaudience. I mean, it's, or it can, I mean, that's what I'm feeling and thinking. But anyway, so I heard the other word, which was hyperdimensional, and I'm like, I'm not really, I may have heard this word before, maybe somewhere, but I'm not really familiar with this word. Like, that word was not really in the back of my mind or anything, and it just comes to me just like that. Like, hyperdimensional. Now, what's that? And so I did quickly look it up, just the definition of it. And then I came across terms like hyperdimensional beings. And I'm like, oh, so what Spirit is trying to tell me here is that this female Hindu jinn named Kumari is a hyperdimensional being who has the ability to teleport, or teleportation, as in teleportation. I'm like, wow, okay, I'm gonna have to do my research on, teleportation and hyperdimensional beings. But I don't know, can I, actually, I wanted to share this last scene from Sajjad Salim's show called Wo Kya Hai? How would that translate in English? I think, simply it would translate in English as "What is that?" Simply put, like literally. So I just wanted to play this last scene. Let's watch this. Okay, before I play that, it's like we'll see this Pakistani Muslim male magician being possessed by this Hindu female jinn named Kumari here. And what happens is, another thing that happens is that, I don't know if you're able to notice, but I certainly did, that, he changes his voice, or his voice changes from a male voice to a female voice. And then, in between, it's like his voice is changing back to a male voice and then to a female voice. Like, how does that happen? I know that spirit, whether that is spirits, whether they are of the light or spirits that are of the dark, if you allow it, and when it comes to possession, they can take over your vocal cords and they can speak through your vocal cords in their own voice. So that's how, and that's why your voice would change, or can change, or changes. So that's what's happening there. It's like, they take over your throat chakra, that energy center, that throat energy center, which is called throat chakra, and then they speak through you, or your throat chakra, or through you basically, and use your vocal cords, the spirit, I mean, that's in you, that has taken control over your body, or has overtaken your body, or that's what we call possession. So yeah, that's what's happening there. But anyway, let's play that quick little last scene here, and
वही रुके रहे, हम बात करना आए हैं, बस आगे ना आए, वही रुक जाए, वहीं रुक के बात कर ले। रुको रुको रुको, वहीं रुक के बात कर ले। दूर से
क्या बात करेंगे, पास में आओ ना। आ जाओ।
मैं दोबारा बता रहा हूँ, हम नुकसान के लिए नहीं आए। दूर से वहीं रुक जाए, बात कर ले हमसे।
आ जाओ, नजदीक आ जाओ। दूर से बात नहीं होगी। आओ ना।
वहीं रुक जाए।
डर लगता है आपको? तो डर नहीं लगता था? आ जाओ।
तो उसकी क्या चमक रहा है?
इसकी बिल्लियां लगाई हुई है।
माय गॉड,
गेटअप में आया हुआ है, ये हाथ तो प्राण है इसके। आ जाओ।
ये हम अपने लिए लाए हैं, आपके लिए नहीं लाए।
अच्छा, अपने लिए लाए हो?
ये रूप बर्दाश्त है।
कुल्हाड़ी इसके हाथ में। नहीं
ये अगर माफ ना।
Right. It's like there's no trust. They come with holy water, though they are saying, and their intentions are pure. They are saying, Sajjad Salim is the host. I think he's also the producer, director, something like that. I'm not sure 100%. But yeah, it is his show, so I guess he is. Anyway, I'm forgetting that detail now because it's been a few years again since I watched this show. It's like there's no trust, even though Sajjad Salim has that bottle of water, that's holy water. It's kind of holy water, as in I'm sure he's recited. The Quran over it, or some Quranic verses on it, to make it holy, because he was filling it up from the sea. If you watched the other video, which was the whole episode, but then he obviously recited some Quranic verses on it, on the water, to make it holy, so we can call it holy water. And then the jinn, the female jinn Kumari, comes out with what was that, a hammer? Is that what you call it? Like yeah. So it's like there's no trust. It's like, are you gonna harm me? Like, you're trying to talk to me, and but are you gonna harm me or hurt me or something like that? Even though Sajjad Salim did not have that intention, and I understand, but it's like when there's that kind of tension going on and there's no trust on both sides, and it's like the jinn is kind of feeling a bit threatened, like it's maybe not threatened, but it's more like, I can't trust because they might harm me, they're human, they might harm me. And then obviously the humans on the other side are also thinking, okay, this is a powerful jinn, and she can harm me or hurt me or kill me too. So it's like there's that tension. So it's like, yes, Sajjad Salim is saying, yes, we're only here to talk, and if you can talk to us without hurting us or harming us in any way, then fine. And if you can show yourself without hurting us and harming us, then fine. Otherwise, no need. But she does shows herself, or himself and herself, because she's taken over the body of this male magician, So she does show herself in that way. And she obviously, does talk to them a little bit, or it's like, yeah, okay, come on, we can talk, and, why don't you, come near? And Sajjad Salim is like, no, just stay there, like, just stay where you are, don't come any near, just stay there and we can talk from a distance, from a safe distance. But she's not stopping, she's still kind of moving towards them slowly, and in that kind of situation, I guess. And then obviously she's hiding a hammer, which is like deadly. I mean, it can kill a human, even if you throw it, from a distance, or it can certainly cause a human some serious bodily harm, even if it does not end up actually killing a human. And then, Sajjad can kind of perhaps see something like shining, and he's like, what is she hiding, or what, behind her back? And then she or he kind of comes out with, the hammer, and I guess he panicked a bit there, and he just throws the holy water on her, and as you can see, it actually had an effect. And she, throws the hammer down and just runs away. Because I think what does holy water does? I think it burns them. I think that's what it does. It's like a burning sensation for them, I think. So I guess that's something that is hurtful for them, for the entities, for the dark spirit, or dark spirits. So that's why, she just kind of throws the hammer down and just runs away, kind of screaming, because I guess she got hurt a bit by, or, burned a bit by that holy water. Anyway, so that's what's happening there. So Sajjad Salim, the host, did not have, any intention on hurting the jinn in any way, but when the jinn is coming at you with, a hammer behind its back, it's like, and then it kind of shows it to you, and it kind of like pulls it out, and it's like, yeah, I've got this, and I can hurt you with it. And it's like, I guess humans can panic, and maybe he panicked, and that was, and he reacted in terms of safety. Though he didn't want to hurt him or her, that was not his intention, but things just played out in a way where I guess he panicked, and he had to kind of decide or react like in a moment's time, because she could have thrown that hammer onto him or, one of his team members, and it could have caused a serious injury, or it could have caused serious bodily harm at the least. So I guess he panicked, and he threw that holy water on him, her. So yeah, even when you plan things, but you never know how things are gonna play out when you're actually in, a serious situation like that, where you're kind of not sure what's gonna happen from moment to moment, and then you just kind of have to, sometimes just react. It's just that sort of thing. even when you don't want to hurt the other party or the jinn. But it just, if the situation is going to play out like that, then, you know, these things can happen. So yeah, so that's that. I was not planning on talking this much about it, but let's see if we can just get a quick, because I'm going to have to do my, you know, research into this. I haven't. But if we can just quickly look up like a quick definition or definitions of teleportation and hyperdimensional beings, then, you know, let's just do that. Let's see what that is. Right, so here is a quick definition of teleportation. It says, teleportation is the hypothetical transfer of matter or energy from one point to another without traversing the physical space between them. Right, teleportation is often paired with time travel. Okay, that's just a quick... teleportation is often paired with time travel, being that the traveling between the 2 points takes an unknown period. What's that? Takes an unknown period of time, sometimes being immediate. Yeah, that's what was happening there with Kumari. That's how she was moving. Yeah, that makes sense. That matches 100%. Okay, let's see what, that's just a quick definition of teleportation. Hyperdimensional beings. Oh, no, hang on. Let me just see if I just put... Why is this all caps? Because I did that accidentally, probably. Being. Right. So here it says hyperdimensional entity or being, physiology, interdimensional entity and being, physiology, capabilities. User with this ability either is or can transform into a dimensional entity by ascending. Is this the right one? Into higher level or plane or layer or mathematical dimension of existence, and can influence higher dimensional and lower dimensional objects and spaces. Hang on, because I was getting something different. Actually, yeah, because before I was just looking at the definition of hyperdimensional, or what hyperdimensional means, and here it's saying hyperdimensional, or definition of hyperdimensional is of or relating to space of more than 3 dimensions. Right, so that's what hyperdimensional means. And hyperdimensional meaning of or pertaining to a system having more dimensions than naturally found in our universe. Okay, so that's the definition of hyperdimensional. Right, I don't really understand this at this point. And this is physics, is it? Whoa. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, you know, look into it more and try and understand it, or see if I can try and understand it and get it. I don't know, but hey, you know, if anyone out there who comes across this video and you know about these things and you have an understanding of, you know, things like teleportation and hyperdimension, hyperdimension or hyperdimensional beings, then you know, please hit me up in the comments and leave a comment, and you know, and I don't know, maybe I could learn something from you. Yeah, other than that, I'll have to do my own research and I'll have to look into it myself and try and see what it is and try and understand it, or try and gain some understanding of it. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. Until next time, take care.